it's like Germany's also quite free when it comes to smoking as well.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere you go in Germany, you've got like outdoor seating for everything, and all this, they've all got ashtrays on tables and stuff. Like no one minds at all if you go and smoke. I think sometimes you can do that in places like train platforms as well. Places where like in the UK that would be totally like absolutely not, no smoking. There's loads of like no smoking sites in the UK now. You can't even smoke in an outdoor place on certain sites because it's like just no smoking at all.
Yeah. I remember I vape now, but I used to smoke, and I remember one time I was traveling somewhere in the UK and I was on an outdoor train platform at 2 a.m. I was literally the only person there. There wasn't a single soul anywhere around. And I pulled out a cigarette and started smoking, and someone came over the tannoy, the intercom. Excuse me, sir, can you put that cigarette out, please? It's like, why? Who is this harming? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But here in Germany, you, like you said, they've got like these yellow boxes on train platforms that are specifically for the smokers to smoke.
Yeah.
So they don't like you. I mean, you probably could get away with it, but they think about that kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, there you go, smoke there.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, oh yeah. So, right, places where I thought there'd be no problem with smoking, okay? One of which was the ferry to the Isle of Wight, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I went out and I asked one of the attendants, so one of the staff, so like, oh, where's the smoking deck? And it's like, oh no, sorry, so this is like a smoke-free ferry.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, there's like an open deck at the top, like it's wind's blowing, like no one's gonna. Surely, if I go and stand right at the back of the ship, like no, and the smoke just blows off the side, like no one's gonna be offended by that, surely. And it's like, no, it's a no smoking ship. I think like there was other ones where it depends what company you're with. Some of them let you smoke on a certain deck or whatever. But another place that you can't do it is like Wetherspoons.
Oh yeah, true. In the garden,
most of the Wetherspoons gardens. You've got like, well, there's a smoking area of the garden, and the rest of it's like no smoking at all. But that doesn't fit the target audience, surely.
No,
like,
well, you wouldn't think so.
For anyone not familiar with Wetherspoons, it's almost like a fast food version of a pub. It's like
that's such a good way of putting it.
It's like they've got thousands of locations all over the country. Usually, like every town has got at least one Wetherspoons. It's like these old buildings, they get bought and turned into a pub. The toilets are always like 4 flights of stairs up and out of the way in a different building somewhere. And it's like, it's a really cheap beer. There's this myth about the fact they buy beer that's about to go off or something, but apparently that's not true. They just get like really good deals because they buy everything in bulk, apparently. Some quite good beer, actually, and it's very, very reasonable prices. It's like half the price of everywhere else. So you get a lot of like particular old men during the morning. They'll be in there at like 10 a.m. and they'll drink their pint of Guinness or whatever it is, you know, and stay there for the whole day. You get students because it's like the cheapest drinks around. And there's really nothing much to do there. There's no music in the Wetherspoons. It's just a big room where they serve alcohol. I think there's maybe like a fruit machine or two, but there's no events. There's no music. It's a very basic place to be, but it's quite good because you know exactly what you're going to get. It's like going to McDonald's. It's not especially good, but it's never going to be bad. It's like, it's just in the middle, you know?
Yeah, it's standard.
Standard, yeah. You know exactly what you're going to get. But I just think like, I don't know, it tends to like miss the target audience maybe, because like there's some places where you can't smoke at all in certain bits. You have to go to this little corner and like, yeah, smokers go over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And in the Wetherspoons, that area is always completely packed because everyone who goes there on a Friday evening at 10 p.m, even if they don't smoke usually, they're going to be smoking at Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
It's just how it always goes. So like the smoke-free, boring bit of the garden is completely empty. And then if you dare go in there when no one else is in there and light up a cigarette, it's like, oh, mate, no, can you move?
Yeah.
Go over there to the, you know.
But I think also there's a big taboo against like smokers and stuff now as well. There's like fewer people than ever are smoking, but thousands of people are vaping.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if, because the whole point about vapes was that they're supposed to get you off of cigarettes, right? But you've got a trend now where people just go to vape straight away, especially younger people.
Yeah.
And especially because they sell them in like the fucking multicolored rainbow editions and stuff. You know, how are you going to tell me that doesn't appeal to teenagers and, you know, young adults? So, but obviously everyone that wants a vape, they can't go to the normal area. But then there's this,
which I think is ridiculous.
There's this weird thing though in pubs where in the UK, some pubs allow you to vape inside, some don't. Some places don't really care if you vape, even though you're not supposed to, and stuff like that. But it seems to me like vapists,
vapors, yeah.
Vapors seem to have like a free pass almost. No one really cares. But if you're smoking in a place where you're not supposed to smoke, that's like, no, you can't do that.
Which, to be honest, I get.
Yeah, I sort of get it as well.
I haven't smoked for, I think, maybe 3 years at this point. And I feel like I'm even more set to be disgusted by it because I used to be a smoker in a weird sort of way. If I smell cigarette smoke now, it's like, oh God, why was I ever putting that in my lungs? Oh God. Before I started smoking, like when I was 18, didn't bother me whatever. But now I think if we still lived in a parallel universe where you could smoke inside, I would hate being inside when there's smokers around.
I think, inside is one of those things where actually that's, probably fair enough. Because I think back in 2006-7, that was the kind of time when they phased out smoking inside pubs in the UK.
Yeah.
And apparently there was, I mean, we weren't very old at that time, but it was a big thing about people not wanting to go to the pubs anymore because they couldn't smoke inside and be like, oh, we're never going to be able to go out again. Like, we lose our target audience and stuff. But actually, not much really happens.
No.
Most pubs in England will have, there's the British Beer Garden. That's quite a famous sort of idea, isn't it? There's always gonna be somewhere outside you can go and stand for a cigarette, or failing that, go and stand on the street. And actually, I think it did do good things because then it made pubs a bit more sort of family friendly, but then also sort of just generally friendly. I think before 2006, pubs were very much that place where it's like, it's had that certain character about it, like all the regulars hunched around smoking cigarettes and like, the wives were, sort of hanging out, the husbands were all hanging out, and it's like only fools and horses sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, how did you feel in that bar at Liechtenstein then? Because that was
like a novelty in a way. So Charlie came to visit me. We went to Salzburg in Austria, and we went to Innsbruck in Austria, and then we went to Vaduz, which is in Liechtenstein, which is, if you don't know, if you're not geography nerds like we are, it's a teeny tiny micro state between Austria and Switzerland, and it has a few sort of weird laws just because I think they're kind of small. They're a bit of a sort of liberal paradise. I think they have quite a low tax rate and they let you smoke inside legally. So we go to this quite nice sort of bar. We sit at the bar and they bring out an ashtray. And in that moment, I was like, this is a novelty. This is cool. Like, I don't mind this. And it was just you smoking. It's not like there's 20 people around me smoking. It's not a huge deal. But
no, but it could have been.
Yeah, true. It could have been.
I think you risked that a little bit.
After 3 or 4 hours, I think I would have started to be like, ugh. It's weird. It's got like this accumulative effect where I start to feel a bit headachy, like if I'm sort of surrounded by cigarette smoke.
What I would have expected there was if they had like an extract fan or at least like an open window, but obviously it's quite cold outside. But yeah. Liechtenstein, by the way, also interestingly, is one of two doubly landlocked countries.
I was really worried you were going to talk about flags again then. Like, we haven't finished that yet. But yeah, that's cool. Well,
it's, right, okay. Well, hang on a sec. You might actually enjoy this flag fact, if I may.
Okay, all right.
They had to change the flag of Liechtenstein, I'm fairly sure. Did we find this out on that little tour of the city?
Yes. They
had to change the flag of Liechtenstein because it's blue and red, right? Like blue and red fesses, horizontal stripes. But it was too similar to the flag of Haiti, and which they noticed was it one of the Olympics?
Was it? I can't remember what they said.
I think it was one of the Olympics. And they said, well, okay, what we'll do is we'll add the prince's crown in the canton to make it
more distinctive.
More distinctive, yeah, exactly.
I think Chad and Romania should work out something too, because their flags are identical.
They should. Is it a case where they're like slightly different colours? Maybe.
They're exactly the same.
No,
I think. I can't see a difference between them. They are simply the same. Isn't it gold, red and blue for both of them?
But I'm thinking like there might be a slight difference in the shade of the colours. So hang on.
If there is one, then to me it's imperceptible.
Yeah, since the 1990s, its similarity to the flag of Romania has caused international discussion. But, right, so the RGB, we've got indigo, yellow and red for Chad. And then Romania is blue, yellow and red with different hex codes. RGB, well, and hex codes, whatever. The blue is slightly lighter on the Romanian flag, it looks like.
Slightly lighter. Oh no, here comes a ship. Quick, what shade is the blue? No, it's okay. It's just a Chad. Oh, what's the demonym for Chad? Chadanian? Chad ship?
Demonym.
Is that the right name for the naming type?
What you're looking for is demonym, and it's Chadian.
Chadian.
Or maybe Chadian. It's spelled Chadian.
Okay.
Chadian or Chadian, maybe.
Well, now I'm wondering whether Chad even has ships. Are they landlocked?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
Okay, well then I suppose this would never be a problem at sea.
But they do live next to a lake, quite a big lake, but not one that is accessible by Romania.
But that's the perfect ploy. That's what they should do. Like they should sail through the lake and be like, "Oh, we're not Romanian. We're Chadanian."
There is scope for, because the thing is, you could be Romanian in Chad, and you might have a boat on this lake.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move off from flags then.
One more thing about smoking. I remember being in the US, that was surprisingly restrictive for a country that loves its freedom. Yeah, freedom. We got a liberal society over here. You can do whatever you want. Not got no government coming down and telling me what to do. Every single goddamn bar I went to, it was no smoking or vaping anywhere on the premises, including outside. Like you couldn't even go outside of the bar to smoke. You had to go, leave. Honestly, I was at this place in South Carolina. You're looking around, it's just mountains or hills and just ranches and cows everywhere the eye could see. But it's like, no, you have to walk over there to the dirt road if you want to smoke your vape. Don't bring that disgusting shit anywhere near this big open place. It was crazy. Everywhere I went, like all the rooftop gardens, no smoking, no vaping, nothing. Leave the whole place if you want to do any of that. That is not freedom, America. No. That was terrible.
Yeah, no, that's mad. In fact, can we look at a list? Because I think there's something that will give us this information. Where does America actually rank on a list of free countries?
Oh, all right, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to find one now, so I'm looking at
a freedom index or something.
Yeah. I've literally searched for freedom index, and it's not like a single thing, but I'm on Freedom in the World, which is a yearly survey done by a US-based organization. Right, civil liberties, which I imagine would cover things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finland is top.
Of course.
Norway, Luxembourg, New Zealand. Those kind of countries where you think, that's going to be high on the list. I was like Scandinavia, New Zealand's always pretty high. Sweden, Canada, Czech Republic, Ireland, Netherlands, San Marino, Barbados. Even the UK isn't that high on this list. The UK is 44th on this list.
So doesn't surprise me.
Although, just a quick caveat, actually, a lot of these, so the civil liberties number, the top two have 60, then it's number 3 to 5 have 59, then number 6 to 10 have 58. So there's a lot of, tie for score sort of thing. Yeah.
So,
but the United States is 57th on that list. Only above Vanuatu.
It is out of 194, so
yeah.
But still, you'd think for the richest country in the world, you'd think
the most free country apparently.
Oh, right. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the land of the free, home of the brave, nest of the eagle.
Okay, so sort it by PR, political rights. So obviously voting, representation, that sort of stuff. Denmark is top. Uruguay is 7th. United Kingdom 19th. Still can't see United States.
That PR goes to minus numbers. South Sudan has -3. Sorry, go on.
Wow. United States is 63rd. Suriname is above them.
Oh man.
But again, that caveat of like actually the numbers overlap on a few of them, but still
sure.
they're in the same bracket as them. Oh, Liechtenstein 65. But is that because it's a sort of like semi-monarchy sort of thing?
I think you would be surprised. One of my work colleagues, I told him that I went to Liechtenstein. He was like, "Oh yeah, cool place, but kind of fucked up. They didn't let women vote until extremely recently." It's It's one of those places where like everyone's really rich, but in terms of actual personal liberties and stuff like that.
Well, okay, but hang on. This is sorted by political rights. So actually, on the civil liberties, Liechtenstein is 20th.
Okay, yeah, so there's a difference there, isn't there, I suppose? So you can smoke inside and you can get not very much tax, but if you want to vote, then...
Okay,
although
so...
I don't know what the current status is, actually, of Liechtenstein in that sense.
Not sure. But there's another way to sort this, which is total. It's like a combined score. Again, Finland is first. Norway, New Zealand, Sweden, Luxembourg. So that's top 5. United Kingdom 32. Liechtenstein 36. Italy 41. France is 46th, apparently. United States 54th.
Yeah. Amazing.
Not far away from Mongolia, 56.
Oh man.
So that's odd, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think it is. I think that's exactly what you'd expect of such a backwards banana republic land. So that's probably extremely offensive, wasn't it?
Let's talk about drugs.
Let's do it. We have been talking about drugs though the whole time.
We
talk about more drugs.
Oh, you know what the most dangerous drug is in the world, Henry? Do you know what the most dangerous drug is?
Loneliness. No, I don't know. What is it? Is it nicotine or something?
No, money.
Money.
I smell money.
Oh. Opportunity.
Isn't that one? Does he reference that in Wolf of Wall Street, where he's like, "Oh, but like, all of the drugs I took, there was one that was just so good. It was, it was everywhere, and you couldn't ever get enough of it. And it was this." And he like does a $1 bill or a $100 bill or something.
He's like, "I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this."
Yes, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very, very poetic, you know. But no, like physical drugs. How do you feel about the legalization of certain drugs that have previously been illegal?
I tend to be quite pro legalization. I think, generally speaking, the more drugs that you decriminalize, the better it is for the country. Which there may be some people who listen to me saying that who just have this just extremely visceral reaction to that, like, oh, but then everyone will start taking heroin, everyone will start taking cocaine. I don't necessarily think that we should legalize heroin and cocaine. We should definitely legalize marijuana where it hasn't been legalized yet. But honestly, I think that it actually might do some good to legalize cocaine and heroin. I'm quite liberal on that. I'd say.
I think. Well, let's address marijuana. Okay, marijuana has been proved to be actually not that harmful, really. Obviously, like if you smoke it every day for what you like, you're going to develop some, But then the same with nicotine as well, isn't it? Like that's obviously very harmful, and alcohol, that's very harmful as well. But like marijuana is actually not really that bad compared to the others, and people spend so much money at the moment on combating the sale of marijuana that actually, if you just invest that in you're telling me about something that happened in, was it Austria, or where people were given seeds by the government and they bought them back?
It was one of the other people that we were with mentioned that. It wasn't me.
Right, okay.
But what they said was that in Austria... Was it Austria, actually, or was it somewhere else?
It might be somewhere else.
The government sold people seeds or gave people seeds, marijuana seeds, and then they bought the plant off of them because they so badly... It was the Thai government, wasn't it? Or Vietnam? It was somewhere in Asia. I'm sure you can throw it on the screen, or the bartender can look at me with a speech bubble and correct me because they needed to ramp up the production of marijuana so quickly and so greatly that they did this scheme. So the people grew the marijuana and then the government bought it back and then they sold it at a profit. Great idea.
I think that is a great idea, because when you do things like that, you then have control over how it's being done. So one of the big problems with drugs at the moment, especially in the UK, is that you don't know what's actually in that drug. People buy, maybe not so much, marijuana, but definitely things like cocaine. Who knows what's in that? It's not being put through any regulations. It's not being tested or quality controlled in any way. So you're taking that drug alongside whatever the hell they've decided to put in it as well to, thicken it out, like diluting it essentially, aren't they?
Yeah. So for me, I think there's three huge advantages of legalizing, and this accounts for every drug, basically. The first one is what you just said. It's regulation. So you would have, government laws would then apply to the growing and processing and sale of these drugs, so it would make them safer. That's one thing. The second one is that it massively boosts the economy. I mean, imagine if you could tax marijuana sales. The amount of people who would buy marijuana legally in the UK is billions. It's like hundreds of billions, probably. And the third thing is, it makes it safer for people to actually consume the drugs as well. So I think Kurzgesagt did a video about this, and I'm trying to remember exactly what they said, but I think this is true, that when alcohol was illegal in the US, so in the 1920s, people didn't drink beer, they drank moonshine, and it destroyed their liver and it made them blind, right? Yeah. People don't nowadays go home and drink straight vodka. They go home and they drink a couple of beers and they go to bed. If heroin was legal, if you were like a 30-year-old guy and you're like, I can't come out tonight, guys, I'm going to go home and watch the sports and do a bit of heroin. And if that was a normal thing, they wouldn't go home and inject a needle into them. They'd take a little, supermarket bought, maybe a little heroin drink, a little laudanum, and just have a little sip. And that'll be the end of it. I really think you'd have far fewer overdoses. Few people overdose and die of alcohol now because they're not drinking this doohickey contraption, fabricated shit that would be in moonshine. So I think that's the third massive advantage of legalizing drugs. I'll tell you what,
I've never really thought about it before. That's a really good point. And what does he say in BoJack Horseman? He's like, no, we're not going to go and inject heroin into ourselves. We're going to smoke heroin like sophisticated adults.
We're going to snort heroin like sophisticated adults. I actually watched Pulp Fiction last night, and that's a plot point in that is that Uma Thurman. My girlfriend actually pointed this out to me. I never really thought about this before. I think Uma Thurman's character actually assumes that the heroin in John Travolta's coat is cocaine, and that's why she snorts it, and that's why she gets the overdose. Right. And that changed the movie for me when she pointed that out, and I think that might actually be true.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it is dangerous to snort. God, I really hope there's no children listening to this. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do this. It's awful. It's really bad.
Well, they would have seen us as a disclaimer at the front of the video, hopefully, so they've made their decisions.
Well, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, then we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Who listens to disclaimers?
Brilliant. I think the other big thing here as well, and this works with everything, this works with alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, whatever it is, there is, and this comes down to the idea of a vice at its basic idea, which is people want to do it because they're not supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. Either they're too young to do it, so that's why people, even young people, they find ways to get alcohol or cigarettes or whatever else. But also, people that regularly take things like cocaine, not so much heroin, because I think heroin's got a bit of a negative connotation to that. It's very sort of like train spotting, isn't it?
A bit,
cocaine is seen as almost like a classy drug. It's again, this positive reinforcement of it. You see it in films and stuff, where people in suits at fancy bars are doing cocaine in the toilets, and there is a part of it which is I'm doing it because I know I'm not supposed to, and I will seem edgy, I will seem hard, I will seem untouchable, sort of thing. Yeah. And that completely goes away if that thing is legal. Yeah. Because again, you see someone smoking a cigarette, if they're 40 years old, and it's well, okay, fine, no worries. If you see someone smoking a cigarette and they're like 17, 16, 15, then it's like, ooh, that kid's, he's a troublemaker. But then that's probably what they want you to think,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm untouchable. You can't touch me. Like I'm doing this. Therefore, it's like a social status thing, isn't it? Peer pressure, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why vapes are so big today is because it's like smoking in the way that you're not supposed to do it. If you do it, you're cool because you're breaking the rules. But also you haven't got that stigma of like, well, it's going to be really unhealthy or it's going to stain your teeth and skin or whatever else. You're going to smell like smoke. Vaping is one of those things just like, you can still have the street cred, but you don't have to worry as much about the health impacts or, that sort of like negative connotation so much.
I'm really surprised that vaping does have that street cred. Honestly speaking, I think vaping is so uncool, and I do it because I'm still addicted to nicotine. I'd much rather vape than smoke cigarettes. But I've tried as hard as I can to make vaping cool. I've got a black looking, slim, very elegant little piece here. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's not very imposing. It's not one of these big cherry colored smoke machines that everyone else has. It's understated, but it's still so uncool. And I wish a cigarette is just a cool thing. A little burning, fiery thing. You flip out a lighter and it's always dangerous. It's cool.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So you've seen the film Goodfellas?
Yes. Yeah.
So do you remember? It's one of my favourite scenes in cinema. In fact, the bit where Robert De Niro is stood at the bar smoking a cigarette, and he sort of looks into the camera, and
Smoke on the Water, isn't it? That plays.
No, it's Cream. Sunshine of Your Love.
Right. Yeah.
So you know the bit I'm talking about then, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
And again, like in the film, the context for that, I think it's the bit where something is about to happen, like he's about to take somebody out, basically, and this guy...
He makes the decision to kill that guy. In that's what Scorsese says. Like, he directed him to make the decision to do it in that scene, and that's why it looks so like, ooh,
yeah.
And
it's one of the best scenes, but just because there's so, like you say, that decision is made and he says so much just with the facial expression and the fact that he's smoking a cigarette at the same time. He just looks, that's a cool image. Obviously, he's a terrible person because he's a gangster.
Of course, yes.
Don't be gangsters, kids.
Don't be a gangster, indeed. Yeah.
But it's like that image there is, yeah, that sort of sums it up in a way. It would not have the same effect if he wasn't smoking a cigarette, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
And it's not. He does. I don't know if he has to drink at the same point as well. But even if he had like a glass of whiskey, that wouldn't be the same as if he was smoking a cigarette.
I totally agree. And I think vapes are making their way into films and TV series a lot more nowadays. And did you watch the series The Gentleman on Netflix?
Yeah.
I think it was the first episode of the second one, but there's one of the characters has a disposable vape that he's smoking like a cigar whilst playing golf in one of these scenes. And it kind of worked because that's a very goofy character.
Right, yeah.
But it made me think, I hope they don't start like the sort of Goodfellas films of the modern era. I hope they don't start trying to treat these like bright, like these lime green colored vapes. It's like the same thing. Like someone in like a hoodie is smoking that, and I'm gonna kill that guy. Yeah, I made that decision now.
That's a really good point. It's just
not as cool.
Yeah, because you imagine. Yeah, let's start like Robert De Niro if he had a fucking Lost Mary or an Elf Bar. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same, would it? Yeah, if you want to make a character seem edgy or, slightly either the villain or an anti-hero, you wouldn't have him smoking a vape. You'd have him smoking a cigarette or a cigar, Now, the other thing, going back to like the perception of vaping, what you said earlier reminded me of Noel Gallagher back in 2013. So I've just pulled up the story here. So it says, Noel Gallagher... Have you heard about this?
Is this when he verbally assaulted Tom York or one of the members of Radiohead on stage? He was like, "Fucking put that vape down, smoke a cigarette like a real man." Is that the story?
Right. So it was Dominic Howard from Muse.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And it was the 2013 Brit Awards. So Gallagher expressed his disdain for the corporate and dead music industry, using the sight of a musician using an e-cigarette as evidence. And I think, as I remember the story, he basically said, like, it's not rock and roll to do that. Like, if you're going to do that, smoke an actual cigarette. Don't do this, like, half measure, you know? And again, I think that's what it is. It's like, you still want that, like, style. You still want that image. But unless you're going to commit to smoking an actual cigarette, then really, you haven't done it right.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of the optics of it, I agree. I wish it wasn't the case, because vapes are, as far as we know, with the research we've currently carried out, as far as we know, they are safer than cigarettes. So I think people, if people have to choose between vaping or smoking, they should choose vaping. But it is a shame that they look so stupid. It's a real shame.
Okay, so one thing I was going to talk about was perceptions of different types of alcohol. Okay. In the modern times versus historical times. So, for example, there's been a big craze, like, over the last sort of 10 years of gin. I don't know if this is the same in Germany, but definitely in the UK, gin is one of those things where it's now quite a classy thing to do. Gin and tonic. But also the fact you've now got so many different flavors of gin. You know, people want to drink, like, the pink gin, raspberry gin, whatever it is. They've got so many different selections of gin. Okay. But gin, throughout history, has always been one of those things that, like, the lowest of the low would have drunk gin because it was all they could afford. And, you know, like, imagine, like, Victorian London, where, like, so you'd have, like, shops that would sell gin for, like, a penny, and it'd be like, come and get drunk on our gin. 1 penny gets you drunk, 2 pence. Tuppence will be like, you know, you're not leaving this place, sort of thing. And then they'd let you, like, you know, crash out on a straw bale in the back or something.
Yeah.
Do you know that bit in Sweeney Todd where she, like, gives the kids some gin to drink?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of when I was in London this year, we went for a Jack the Ripper tour. And it was really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. And the person who was giving the tour, she gave a bit of context behind the history of the time. And a lot of it was about the gin. She said this, we would need to make sure that this is true afterwards. I don't doubt her veracity, but, you know, just for the viewers. She said that the term hangover comes from this era. So you'd get absolutely fucking lampshaded on gin. You get plastered, mate. And for 1 penny, you could buy, or maybe it was 2 pennies, you could buy a spot in, like, this place where you could sleep the night, and you would lean over a rope, literally just a rope, and you'd sleep like that. Like, you'd sleep hanging over this rope, and then in the morning they'd come into the room and with a pair of scissors and they'd cut it. All of these people would fall and hit the ground. And apparently that's where hangover comes from. Like, you're hanging over a rope because you're completely fucked on gin. Because you don't need a comfortable bed. You're so drunk that you just sleep. Yeah,
it's like the lowest form of accommodation you could get. I mean, I still prefer that to some places in the UK now, to be honest. But I think like a lot of things in the English language, these idioms and expressions, a lot of them are mythical. I have heard of this before. I will check this because it is one of those things that I think it is a bit of a...
It could be a myth,
half and half. But yeah, like, the perception of gin has really changed because, it was like a dirt cheap thing, and, like, you buy it because you couldn't afford wine, basically. Or, you know, I mean, beer's always been a big thing in the UK. Like, you know, beer used to be brewed universally because it was much cheaper to do that than try and purify water. You know, you're going to brew it into beer anyway. You then dilute the beer and you drink it through the day as, like, small beer, you know, like low percentage beer. But yeah, especially with gin, like, nowadays, gin is, like, a big thing. You know, gin and tonic. Ooh, you drinking gin and tonic? Ooh. Things like whiskey. Whiskey's always, again, you don't normally see females drinking whiskey. It's much more of a masculine sort of thing, right? And it's got that classy edge about it. That sort of, like, you associate whiskey, it's like, you know, that sort of lounge bar, jazz music, shot of whiskey, whatever it is. Either that or cowboys, you know. Like whiskey at the saloon sort of thing. Rum's one of those sort of middle things. But rum obviously has an association with the Navy. Yeah. Now, I found this out recently. During the Age of Sail, you know, it's particularly like sort of Napoleonic era and that sort of stuff, you would have a measure of rum as your ration if you're a sailor. Now, when do you think the Royal Navy stopped issuing rum to sailors?
I bet this is one of these QI moments where they still haven't finished. They still do it to this day.
Well,
no,
they have abolished it. But when did that happen, do you think?
Okay,
I mean, the reason why, obviously, is like it's not appropriate for sailors to drink rum because, you know, they're supposed to be doing a job and, you know, quite a demanding job. And, it's just not appropriate anymore, sort of thing.
Is it something outlandish like 1975?
Yeah, you're not far. It's 1970.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Now, I was reading about this earlier. It's the day where it happened is called Black Tot Day. Right.
Isn't a tot like a tot of rum? Isn't
that
like
exactly. So it's like like the measurement of rum that you get. So the last rum ration was on the 31st of July 1970 and became known as Black Tot Day, as sailors were unhappy about the loss of the rum ration. So when this happens, like they had like the last serving of rum was at 6 bells in the forenoon watch, which was 11 a.m. And apparently, it says some sailors wore black armbands, tots were buried at sea, and people had like mock funerals for the abolition of the rum ration.
Wow.
Now, in New Zealand, it was 1990.
Wow.
When they got rid of, like the Royal New Zealand Navy got rid of it in 1990. But the thing is, you still have an issue with beer, I think. Like sailors have a certain allowance of beer every day. But I think I'm right in saying that, like the modern Navy, I don't think you're supposed to drink on the job sort of thing. Like you can have that issue to have it whenever you're off duty sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing with alcohol, you know, it is a vice, but it's a useful vice, especially in a military context, because, you know, it's like liquid courage, right? People would drink alcohol before battle and stuff, and it also promotes camaraderie.
Yeah.
Last orders.
All right then.
I think that might be it then.
We've got enough for 2 parts now.
Maybe.